Hello, what it do, fam? So I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna try and do this faster than I just did a minute ago. Ready? And you can always hit pause, rewind, but I don't want this video to be forever long. So I'm gonna scrunch in a bunch. You hit pause when you need to. Here we go. So first we're gonna go into the homework, Math Excel homework. So you go to Clever, then you search Easy Bridge, pop it up. Make sure you log in if needed, and then find our class, click on the little arrow, and then hit Math Excel for School. Then when you log in, it should look a little something like this. I got it squished right now, but you're going to find there's a new homework here. It's called Homework 2.1. There are only 11 questions, but they take a little bit of time. So I'm going to show you a shortcut. We're going to start with question number 8. You can see how it's worth 5 points. It's going to take a minute. So we're going to start with question 8. And it wants me to do a whole frequency distribution chart. So I'm going to show you a couple little tricks. Number 1, open up a spreadsheet, either a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to open up a Google Sheet. So plus sign up at the top to add a tab and a sheet. Then I'm going to start a new one. Pop it next to it so you can see it at the same time. Next, this little guy right here. If you hover over it, it says click to copy the table. So I'm going to make all the technology, pop those numbers into the spreadsheet, and then make the spreadsheet do a lot of the work for me. I love it. Here we go. Click it. I'm going to try copy to clipboard this time and see how it goes. I've not tried it yet. Please copy and paste data text. All right, so it's highlighted, and I'm going to hit Control C. Just remember. That's the buttons that I hit on my computer. And now I'm going to type, I already hit Control C when it was highlighted over there. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to try to paste it and see if it works. Oh, it works. Glory. If you hit copy, open in StatCrunch, that is another resource that I don't know much about yet. I haven't learned it. I will learn it. It looks like a spreadsheet, and I'm sure I will learn lots about it, but I haven't learned it yet, so I can't tell you anything. You're welcome to play around with it and learn it. But I know this, so I'm going to use this. Okay, so what I love about this is that it's got all the data. Now I'm going to make this handy dandy spreadsheet sort the data from smallest to biggest. So I'm going to go into data, sort, and then I'm just going to say, yep, column A from smallest to biggest, not from biggest to smallest. So, yep, boom, and it did it. Oh, glory. And so now, because remember, when you're finding your classes, it's going to start at 40, but I don't know how wide it's going to be. So if I look back at my handy dandy Google slide that told me all these steps, one of the first steps it says is decide the number of classes. Oh, okay, so let's make a note. The number of classes that I need. It says usually between 5 and 20. Does this question tell me? It does. It says use 6 classes. So I'm going to use 6 classes. Boom. Next, find the class width and round up. And to do the class width, take the max minus the min and divide by the number of classes. So I'm going to remind myself class width is the max minus the min, all of that, so I use parentheses, divided by the number of classes. All right, now that looks a little weird, so I'm going to make all this wrap so we can read it a little bit easier. Okay, so I got to take this highest number minus the smallest and divide by 6. Okay, a wonderful way to cheat. Ready? I mean, save time. To make the spreadsheet do a formula, we're going to hit equals. All right, so equals the biggest number which is down here, minus the smallest number, which is up here, and see how it's typing it in here, that formula, and then I'm going to hit, oh, don't forget my parentheses. And then this little slash will divide by the number of classes, which we said was 6. So I'm going to divide by 6. Boom. Now don't forget to bump it up, because every time you find your class width, you round it up, but I mean, more specifically, bump it up. Even if it was a whole number, if this had just come out plain old 78.00000, we would still bump it up to 79. Bump it up, bump it up. Awesome. Okay, so find the class width and round up. Done. Next, find the class limits. Okay, so I'm going to have a lower limit, just type in this, and an upper limit. And the lower limit is just going to be that first number. So 48. The next number, I'm going to add the class width, which is right here. I'm going to add that class width to this lower limit to get the next one. So I'm going to cheat, equals this answer, click on it, plus 79, enter. Boom. Now, I need to do that so that I have 6 classes, right? 1, 2, now watch this. Click on this and drag down. 3, 4, 5, 6 classes total, right? We count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look, it did it all for me. Oh. Okay, upper limit is going to be up to one number less than this 119. So that would be equals 119 minus 1. Boom. And then they're all going to be going up by the class width. They're all going to go up by 79. So equals the one above it plus 79 all the way down. Cha-cha-cha. Boom. Now I just want to double check. Does all my data fit in here from 40 to 513? 40. Why, yes it does. 513. Perfect. Got it. So I got my first class, lower and upper limit. So I'm going to type that in here. 40 to 118. Boom. Ooh, frequency. So now this is a fun part too. So I got to look through these numbers in order. How many of them are between 40 and 118? And on a paper, I would mark them off so I don't get mixed up. On here, I'm going to highlight them. So 40 to 118. Oh, 139 is too high. So I go back. So I'm going to color those or highlight them. These dots and then this fill color. Pick a color, any color. I'll pick red. And how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5. Next, 119 to 197. 119 to 197. Pick a color, any color. I pick orange. How many of them are? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5 again. Interesting. 198 to 276. 198 to 276. Pick a color, any color. Pick yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 277 to 355. Pick a color, any color. I pick green. There's 3 of them. 356 to 434. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be too high. And there's 5. 435 to 513. 435 to 513. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And voila. There's 5 of them. And I got a cute little rainbow. Okay, so there's my frequencies. So my first one that I want, they just want that number 5, the top one. Got it. Midpoint. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Midpoint. All you do is you take the upper plus the lower limit and then divide it by 2. Forgot to put a parenthesis in there, so I'm going to type that in real quick. So equals upper plus lower. Oh, forgot my parentheses again. I always forget those. They're kind of important. Divided by 2. Boom. Build down, baby. Save time. So those are all my midpoints. I only need this first one right now. So 79. Next, relative frequency. Relative frequency. And a relative frequency is the frequency divided by how many total answers there are. And I don't know how many total answers there are. I didn't count them. So let me do that real quick. Let's count them. And I'm gonna cheat. Equals sum, add up all the frequencies. Whoops. My bad. Equals sum, parentheses, and then I'm gonna highlight all those, and it adds all those up for me. There are 29 answers in there. So I'm gonna do the frequency divided by the total number, or the sample size, which in this case is 29. So equals this guy divided by 29. So answer here, relative frequency, round all nearest thousandth as needed. So 0.172, 3 places. And there's thousandth. Build down so I get all the other answers. Cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, remember, just means that we are going to add them up as we go. So my first frequency is 5. So I'm just going to put 5. Then I'm going to take the one above it. So equals the one above it plus the next one. So this guy right here. Enter. Fill down. And that should, the last one should be the same number as your sample size. And it is, we're good. So my cumulative frequency on this first row is 5. Check answer. Oh, yeah. Now it pops another row, but I already did all that work. So I just need to go look at it. That's all I gotta do. So let me make this a little bit smaller so it'll fit in one area. Go smaller. Go smaller so I can see all this stuff at once. It won't let me. Trixie. It won't let me. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just swallowed the line. All right, so the next row, and I gotta be careful. Last time I did this as an example, I ended up looking at the wrong row. So if I highlight it, it tells me what row I'm on. 119 to 197. Frequency is 5. Midpoint is 158. Relative frequency 0.172 again. And 10. Enter. Fantastic. Next, let me highlight those so I know I'm already finished with them. So I don't look at the same ones again. 198. 276. 6. 237. 0.207. 16. Okay, so I finished typing those in, and I did make a couple mistakes typing them in. And so it'll tell you, wait, that's not quite right. And I went back and I carefully looked, and I had switched some numbers or rounded wrong. So be careful with that. Then I asked a couple questions. Which class has the greatest frequency? Look for the biggest number, and it is 198 to 276. See that? So I'm going to type in here, 198, 276. And then which one has the least? And that's 277 to 355.